Hello everyone, Guten Morgen. I hope you are doing good. So in this class, we are going to learn something very special, that is Wie spät ist es. So time in German. So if you have a struggle before for formal and informal ways of talking or answering the German time, then after this class, you'll have no worries. Okay, and we will, after that concept, we will solve at least 30 problems that will make your life much better, and you will be able to answer all the questions with Wie spät ist es, that is what is the time currently. So without wasting time, let's start with our session today. Okay, so here we have to learn few things before we get going and start solving the problem. Okay, so these terms like 15 minutes, okay, 15 minutes is called Viertel, as you can see here, quarter. Okay, so these terms you have to remember, and then we will start. So Viertel is 15 minute. Okay, and nach is after. So for example, if I say 5 minutes after 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock or 10 minutes, so we say nach 10 seconds or 10 minutes. So for nach meaning is after, and same way for vor, that is before, just opposite of nach. Okay, when you are just near some time, okay, so we say gegen. Okay, so for example 2:59, so we say almost 3 o'clock, right? So that is gegen. Yeah, so these terms, if you remember, it will be very helpful while you answer it informally. And kurz is just, okay, shortly you can say. Kurz nach means just after 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock 1 minute, if that is the time, or 2 o'clock 1 minute. So such things we say kurz nach, just after 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, something like that. Or same way, if it is just before, then we say kurz vor. So if suppose it is 1:59 or 2:59, just before 3 o'clock, so we say kurz vor, just before. Okay, shortly before. So these terms, if you remember, okay, Viertel is quarter, gegen is around, yeah, nach is after, and vor is before. Halb is, I will explain you like what is this concept, and before that we just see this one, kurz nach, just after, shortly after. Okay, not too much after. Okay, just after, kurz nach, and kurz vor, that is shortly before. And we have seen this Viertel, that is 15 minutes, yeah, quarter. Yeah, so for 45 minutes we say dry Viertel. Yeah, that is dry Viertel. And now we will start with a formal, what is formal way of answering this. So you'll have no questions going forward after this one. Okay, so now let us see what is 1 o'clock. Okay, and I hope you have already seen the numbers and all in previous videos. So 1 o'clock, first let's see the formal way, okay, which is very easy and used in government offices or in railway stations, or you visit any bureau arms in Germany, then you will see everywhere the formal, and which is very easy, right? So let's take some example, 4 5 example for formal, and then we will get to informal. So here it's very simple. You write ein Uhr, yeah, Uhr, o'clock. This is for o'clock in English. So 1 o'clock. So ein Uhr. Okay. And when you have something like this, okay, so 1 o'clock 10 minutes. So you say ein Uhr and then 10. That's how you write. Okay. Ein Uhr 10. Hope this is clear. So ein Uhr 10. And this one, ein Uhr 15. 15. Yeah, that's how you write. So first, anytime, first you write the hour and you put Uhr in between and then the minute. Okay, so for example, if you have time like 1 o'clock 5 minutes, then we say 1 Uhr 5. Okay, so here we don't have to worry about Viertel and all, because this is official timing, and here it is just very simple. You have to just say the hour and then Uhr and then the minute. Okay, so for this one you will say 1 Uhr 30. 30. Okay, so like that you say 30. I hope that is clear. Okay, 1 let me write this one, 30. Okay, 30. So this is how you say in um, formal way. Okay, let's see some more example. It will make life easy for you. Okay, so when you say 1 o'clock 45 minutes, very simple. Again, you say 1 Uhr and after that minute. So 5 und 40. 40. Okay, so like 40 you will say, yeah. So that's how you will say the timing and all. Okay, 40. Yeah, hope this is clear. And now let us go to the complicated part, which is for informal. Okay, formal is very simple. Let me revise again. Any time you have, first put the hour part and the minute part, and in between you have to say Uhr. Okay, so you will say for 1 o'clock 10 minutes you will say 1 Uhr 10. For 1 o'clock 15 minutes you will say 1 Uhr 15. Okay, for 1 hour 30 minutes you'll say 1 Uhr 30. Yeah, very simple, just put Uhr. So someone asks wie spät ist es, then you will say es ist 1 Uhr 10. Okay, es ist 1 Uhr 15 for this one. Es ist 1 Uhr 30. This is very simple. But if there is any event, someone say at what time that event will take place. Okay, so for example, the cricket match, then you will say you will say, let me write, for event you will just put so this is like at 1 o'clock. So 1 Uhr 10, 1 Uhr 15, 1 Uhr 30. Yeah, so at 1 o'clock 30 minutes. At 1 o'clock, how we will say 1 Uhr at 1 o'clock. So this is just like the meaning is at. Okay, hope this is clear. If that is clear, then let's move to our favorite part, which is, you know, and the informal part. And after you see this, you will have no doubts, because if you know these words, okay, Viertel is quarter, gegen is around, nach is after, vor is before, and kurz nach is kurz is just shortly. Okay, all right. So now let us start with, the informal one. All right. And after that, we will solve all these 30 questions, and we'll give you some practice questions you can do and comment in the comment section that what you have learned. Okay, so what is the current time you have in your city? You can put it later. Let us see the informal way, and which is very, very important. Okay, so here how you will say 1 o'clock. Okay, it is very simple. Nothing like eins. Okay, simple, like you see the counting eins. That's all, done, right? And how you will say this, now we have learned it already. So how, what is the concept, first you understand. So 10 minute after 1 o'clock, that's how we say in informal. Okay, this is 15 minute after 1 o'clock. Okay, this is, we will see now. So let's sort out this first. Okay, so this is what, sen nach eins. You remember this, this is eins, but there in formal we saw that it is ein Uhr. But here in informal we say eins, this is just eins. Okay, not Uhr and all also, if you don't say, it is fine. Okay, so here 10 minutes after 1, that's how we say in German. Okay, so sen nach eins. And this is Viertel, right? Viertel is quarter. So we'll say Viertel nach Viertel nach eins. Yeah. And now this is very, very a special one. In German, we don't say 1 o'clock. It is 30 minutes after 1 o'clock. We don't say that. We say it is 30 minutes before 2 o'clock. We say 30 minutes before 2 o'clock. Okay, that is what we say. We don't say it is 30 minutes after 1 o'clock. So always remember that it is forward looking. So if it is 2:30, then we say it is, 30 minutes before 3 o'clock. If it is 4:30, we say it is 30 minutes before 5 o'clock. Okay, if it is 6:30, we say 30 minutes before 7 o'clock. So next time we say, not like in English, we say for 1:30 it is 30 minutes after 1 o'clock. But in German, we say it is 30 minutes before 2 o'clock. Hope that is fine. And if that is fine, it is very easy. So what we will say, this guy, let us see, halb, zwei. Let me explain this. It will become easy, and then we'll practice many things here. That's what we saw in the beginning, right? So half is half to next hour, half to next hour, 30 minutes to next hour. So we say half zwei. So it is 30 minutes before 2 o'clock. Zwei is 2 o'clock. Yeah, half is 30 minutes. So 30 minutes before 2 o'clock. Hope this is clear. So if it was 2:30, we would have said what? It is 30 minutes before 3 o'clock, right? So half dry. If we say, let me write it again. Um, let me write another example, and then we will solve the remaining, which is very easy. Yeah. So if it is 2:30, so we say this is 30 minutes before 3 o'clock. So half dry. So 30 minutes before 3 o'clock. 30 minutes before 3 o'clock. If it was 3:30, then we will say what? Half vier. So 30 minutes before 4 o'clock. So always see in German, it is always before, okay? Not after 30 minutes after 1, not like that, okay? So now let us see this one, okay? So this is what? Viertel, dry Viertel. See how we say dry Viertel. So 3/4 nach eins. Okay, nach eins. Why nach eins? Because it is after. See, this is after 1 o'clock. So we say this is 45 minutes, quarter is 15 minutes, that is Viertel. So 3/4 is drei Viertel after 1 o'clock. So drei Viertel nach eins. We can also say it is 15 minutes before 2 o'clock, right? 2 o'clock say 15 minutes come. So we say Viertel vor zwei. Okay, so this is Viertel vor zwei. I hope in this part there is no doubt. Okay, so now this is very simple. 10 minutes after 2 o'clock. So we say sen nach zwei. These are very simple, right? Very simple. So always you have to remember these three things, four things that I have explained to you. That gegen is almost, nach is after, vor is before, halb is for half an hour before next hour, right? Kurz is just, yeah. So if you have understood this, we will go quickly and solve these problems, okay? So this is what 2 o'clock 25 minutes, right? So we say 5 minutes before what? 2:30. We will say this 5 minutes before 2:30, right? So how we will say 5 minutes before? Fünf, 4, and 2:30 we know that it is 30 minutes before 3 o'clock. So we say fünf vor halb drei. We have already seen, right? 2:30 is 30 minutes before 3 o'clock. So halb drei. And this is 5 minutes before 2:30, right? So 2:25 is what? 5 minutes before 2:30. So 5 vor and 2:30 is halb drei because 30 minutes before 3 o'clock. And now this is what? 5 minutes after, 2:30. 5 minutes after 2:30, right? And after is nach. So we say 5 nach, yeah, 5 nach halb drei, halb drei. That will remain the same because 2:30 is nothing but 30 minutes before 3 o'clock. So that is halb drei. All right. So now this 3:50, how we say? We say 10 minutes before 4 o'clock. So sen for vier. Sen for vier. This is what? 4:40. So how you will say? 20 minutes before 5 o'clock. So we say Swansis for 5. Okay, 5. Okay, so now let us go to this one, 5:55. So can you think what it will be? So 5 minutes before 6 o'clock, right? So we say 5 for Jax, yeah. And this is what? 6:20. How we can say this, guy? We will say 20 minutes after 6 o'clock. So 20 nach 6. 20 nach 6. Yeah. And now let us see this guy. This is very simple. Okay. So 15 minutes is nothing but Viertel. And after it is, so we say nach, and 7 is 7, right? Right. And this is what 15 minutes before 9 o'clock. 15 minutes before 9 o'clock. So we say Viertel 4. Before is 4, 9. Okay, 9. Yeah. Viertel 4, 9. Yeah. Viertel 4, 9. And this is 30 minutes before 10 o'clock. Always see before. Okay. 30 minutes before. So we say dry sen. Dry sen. Okay. Dry sen. And sorry, I'm mistaken. So halb sen. We have seen that already. So 30 minutes before is halb and sen. Okay. And this is 10 o'clock, 10 minutes, right? So we say 10 minutes after 10. So sen, nach, sen. These are very simple, right? There is nothing much in this. So you have to just keep in mind that if it is approaching some time, we could have also said this drei Viertel nach 8. That is also correct. Drei Viertel, that is 3/4 after 8 o'clock. So drei Viertel nach 8. But we saw that it is approaching 9. So we say Viertel vor 9. Okay. So hope that is clear. Okay. All right. And then let us move to quickly to next. Okay. And here how we will say 10 minutes before, because it is approaching 10 minutes, 12. So we say sen for self. Okay, self. And this is what 5 minutes after 12. So we say 5 nach 12. Okay, so I'm not going to write everything. I'm just going to explain here. Okay, and then we will see how we can actually understand. And this one is a little bit tricky. So we say what? 35 minutes before this, right? Okay, we say 5 minutes before this, 1:30, right? This is what 1:30. 5 minutes before 1:30. So we say 5 vor, and this is what halb zwei. Halb zwei. Because I have already explained, so 30 minutes before 2 o'clock. This is how we see in German, not like in English. And like 1:30 in English is 30 minutes after 1 o'clock, but in German it is 30 minutes before 2 o'clock. Yeah. So we say 5 vor halb zwei. And this one is like, 5 minutes after 2:30. 5 minutes. This is after 2:30, right? Right. So how we will say 5 nach, and this 2:30 is nothing but 30 minutes before 3 o'clock. So halb drei, right? Hope this part is clear and you have no doubts. So you have to comment in the section what is the current time in your city. Let us see this quickly just for you so that you will have no doubts going forward. So this one, how we will say Viertel nach 3. Okay, Viertel nach 3. How we'll say this guy? 40 nach 4. We say 40 nach 4. Yeah, or we can say 20 minutes before 5 o'clock. So 20 vor 5. 20 vor 5. So it is approaching that, right? 5 o'clock. So we say 20 minutes before 5 o'clock, right? 20 vor this is. And how we will say this guy? 5 minutes before 6 o'clock, right? So we say 5 vor 6. 5 vor 6. All right. And this one, it is 6:30, right? 6:30. So how we'll say 30 minutes before 7. So halb is 30 minutes before 7. Okay, 7. Halb 7. All right. So next, this one, you see how we will say 1945. already came in your mind? 15 minutes before, like Viertel, quarter before 8 o'clock, right? So we say Viertel for acht, right? If it is 8 o'clock, or we could have said 45 minutes after. So this is 3/4. We can say drei Viertel nach, because it's 45 minutes after. So nach, what here? 19, or here in official we say 7, not 19. 19 we say in official one. Official we have already seen. We will say in, that is very simple. 19 Uhr 45. Very simple, right? Just say the hour and then Uhr and then this number. That is in official one. But for normal talk which we do with our friends or colleagues, we say that it is drei Viertel nach 7 oder Viertel vor 8. And this is very simple, 5 nach 8, right? 5 nach 8. And this is what? 10 minutes before 10 o'clock. So sen vor for sen. Yeah. And this one, it is 10:25, right? So 5 minutes before, first see, 5 minutes before 10:30, right? So how we say this? 5 vor, and this, 10:30 is what? Halb 11, right? So 5 let me write this, and this is last. So 5 vor halb 11. Okay, so that is 5 minutes before is before, right? And half 11 is 10:30. We have already seen this, and I hope you have no doubts. 10:30 is nothing but 30 minutes before 11. So this is 30 minutes. Half 11 is 11, right? All right, so last 4 questions. Can you try in your comment section? Okay, and don't see what I'm just telling. Okay, maybe you can pause the video and then see this. Okay, but I'm just explaining now. Okay, for this one, this is Viertel nach 11. Yeah, 11 o'clock. And this is what? 5 minutes before 12, right? So we say 5 vor 12. Yeah, and this is what? Very near to 12 o'clock, right? Very near to. We can say now what we have learned. We will use this kurz, that just for 12. Okay, 12. Yeah, and this is also, we say just around 4 o'clock. So gegen 4. Okay, or if we have to say it in formal way, then we say 23 Uhr 57. Okay, this we will say in official one, 15 Uhr 59. Nothing to remember in official one. Hope you have liked this video till now, and you have no doubts related to that. Please keep commenting in the chat and let us see what you have understood. And for any questions, you can ask me, and you have to practice this with friends. You should always ask, wie spät ist es? What is the time currently? And try to answer this, and then it will become very clear to you. All right, thanks, and we will see you again in the next class. Thanks, bye bye, cheers.